Pause, type, rewind. Wait, what did he just said? I used to take notes from YouTube videos like this every single time. I would pause every few seconds, rewind constantly, trying to capture every ideas at it come, and ended up more exhausted than enlightened. Sometimes I would even spend 40 minutes taking notes from a 10-minute video, and the worst part, I still didn't remember half of what I watched. But then I changed one thing about how I watch videos, and suddenly I was learning faster, taking better notes, and actually enjoying the process. And no, that's not a fancy plugin or productive hack. It's very simple few steps that I will teach you in this video. So here is the thing. Taking notes while watching a YouTube video feels productive. I know that. You are typing, you are focused, you are capturing ton of information, but you are also missing the point. It's like trying to catch a water from a running tap using a teaspoon. You keep scooping and scooping but never really get enough water to drink. When you pause every few seconds, you are trying to consume, understand, filter, and summarize all at once. That's a recipe for overload. My friend, you are not learning, you are transcribing. And most of those notes you took, you never going to look at them again. So instead of pausing every few minutes, drawing in a half digest ideas, I flip the process completely and it start with a simple shift. I stopped treating YouTube videos like textbooks. Now I treat them like lectures, and that small change make a big difference. When you are in a lecture, you don't pause your professor every 10 seconds to write down what he said. You listen, you absorb, and then reflect after. That's exactly what I start doing with YouTube videos. Here is the shift. First, I watch the video or a short section of it without pausing. Then I jot down just a few triggering words, enough to remind me of what stand out to me, and only after that I write my actual notes in Obsidian in my own words, not copying, not word for word stuff, just the essence. This way, I'm not trying to write and understand at the same time. I'm actually thinking about what I'm learning, and that's what help it stick. Before I made that shift, my YouTube note taking process was a mess. I would pause every few seconds, try to write down exact sentences, and ended up with giant wall of text. Some of my old notes were basically just transcribe with no structure, no summary, no personal insights, just raw information I never looked at again. And here is the worst part. I thought I was being through, but what I was really doing was avoiding the hard part, which is understanding the material. When you are just copying, your brain goes on autopilot. You are busy, sure, but you are not learning anything. It took me a while to realize this. More words doesn't mean more understanding. So, friends, here is how I take notes from videos now and how you can do it too. Let's say I'm watching a YouTube video on this topic, how to learn anything faster. It's around 40 minutes long. The first thing I do is not to open Obsidian, I just hit play and watch the first 5 to 10 minutes. No pressure to write down everything, I'm just trying to understand the flow of ideas. While I'm watching, I keep a simple scratch pad open. This could be a notepad beside me or a quick note titled Scratch Quick Captures. As the video plays, I jot down just a few triggering words or a short phrases. Not full sentence, just reminders like sharpen the X, 5-minute rule, find a similar environment, find out weak point, test yourself. These are anchors. They help me remember the key ideas without pulling me away from the actual video. Once I have finished that section, then I move to Obsidian and create a new note, something like how to learn faster, and import pre-made template. Here I give myself a few simple sections. First section is summary in my words. Here I just write a short summary of what the video explained in my language, not the creator's language. Second section is key ideas. This is where I pull out the concept that really stuck with me. And third is personal insights. I believe this one is important. I reflect on how this video connects to what I already know or how I might apply it in the future. And next is related. And at the bottom, I add a link to the other note that I find related or add any time stamp I want to remember. The whole note might take me few to 10 minutes to write, but it is stick because I'm not just copying, I'm processing. And honestly, once I start doing this, I was learning faster, retaining more, and enjoying it way more than I ever did with those old chaotic notes. So friends, before we wrap up, here are few simple tweaks that made this system even better for me and they might help you too. First, use timestamps as anchors. When I came across a part of the video that I might want to revisit, I just note the timestamp like 3 minute 30-second immersion. That way I can jump back later without rewatching the whole thing. Second, use tags to organize topics. At the top of my note, I add few note properties like I will add a few tags like memory or any other. Later when I search for all my notes on memory, I can find every related videos instantly. And third, create a simple template. To make this even faster, I built a little Obsidian template. It's just a structure I reuse every time I take notes from a video from YouTube. Here's how it look like. You can download it from the description if you want. Friends, you can copy this, tweak it, make it your own. The point is, once the structure is ready, you spend more time thinking and less time on formatting. These tiny systems save me hours over time and they make my notes way more useful for future me. The biggest shift for me wasn't in how I take notes, it was in how I learn. I used to chase completeness, trying to capture every single thing from a video. But now I chase clarity. Instead of stuffing my notes with every detail, I focus on what made me think, what I want to remember, and what I can apply. Friends, it's a simple idea, but it changed everything. And you know what? I actually enjoy taking notes now. I didn't feel rushed. I don't feel behind. I'm not fighting with the video anymore. I'm learning with it. And that's the part most people miss. Taking notes is not about collecting information. It's about engaging with it. And once you do that, learning becomes so much easier. So, if you have been pausing every few seconds, getting stuck in messy notes, or forgetting what you just watched, maybe it's time you try this out. Here is what I want you to do next. Just try this once, pick any video, watch the first 5 to 10 minutes without pausing, and jot down a few triggering words, and then write your own summary in your own words. That's it. No overthinking, no perfection, just engage and reflect with it. Friend, if you like such kind of videos, you can subscribe to my channel for upcoming videos. And that's all I wanted to say for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.